What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norn Radd 89 here, bringing you another video. And for today's video, we're going to be on to Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Yes, this is a very polarizing film in the Friday the 13th franchise. Another one just like Jason Takes Manhattan. But as you can tell by my shirt, I'm in the camp of I freaking love this movie. Yes, I know it's bonkers. It's out there. Probably has no business being a Friday the 13th film, in part of the franchise at all. But I like this film. It's a blast. It's bonkers. It's wild. It's out there. And I'm totally on board. But we're going to get into the positives, the negatives, the rating, and then I'm going to send you all home. And of course, we're going to be talking spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, go run out and watch this crazy ass film and then come back so we can talk about it. Roll it. Goes to Hell, the final Friday, man. Oh, this is a film that it has an aura about it. It has a way about it. And for real, when I was young, me being a horror fan and a slasher fan, and my friends, Jason Goes to Hell, this film got a lot of rentals. Really. Before I owned this film, I would go out and rent this film a lot. And it was one of those movies. And look at this cover, even the cover art, the poster, that's a positive right there. Look at this freaking poster. This poster just says grab me and rent me. Another positive of this film, we'll get right into it, is this is one film that I know it's wild, it's out there, and it's got a crazy vibe to it, but I actually like the factor of this film that they take Jason out of his body. It's a positive and a negative. I'm going to tell you right now, we're talking positives right now, but we'll talk about how it's a negative too. But as a positive, I was totally on board with this change. I actually didn't mind it. And I'm not a fan of change in my franchises that much at all. I really am not. I don't mind if it's cookie cutter, if it's the same thing. I just kind of want updated score, music, good, awesome, realistic kills, and my killer to be fucking badass. But this film, yes, it does take a different route as we have Jason in the film for the first, probably 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and then he gets blasted, just blown away, and then his body, he starts possessing bodies of other people. And like I said, it's just a different, interesting new story in the Friday the 13th franchise. Another positive we're going to talk about right away is the kills. The freaking kills in this movie are some of the best. I know it's not Kane Hodder. I know it's not Jason Voorhees doing some of the kills in this movie. It's the spirit of him and it's different actors, but the freaking kills are awesome. So many good ones in this film for sure. And New Line really did take it up a notch for sure. I also really do like Creighton Duke in this movie. I think it's a wild, weird thing. It's totally out there. Doesn't fit the continuity of the Friday the 13th franchise, but the actor sells the role so well, and he has such a great chemistry with our other hero. I believe it's Steven, our other hero, our protagonist character. They have such good chemistry on the screen, especially that jail scene when he's trying to ask Creighton Duke for questions or ask him questions for answers and stuff, and he you gotta pay for answers, man. And he separates and breaks his fingers and stuff like that. Oh man, it was out there. They just got good chemistry on screen. And that's one thing, I said, the actors and actresses in this movie, as we're talking about them too, all of the actors and actresses across the board, I think they just sold their roles very well. And they're crazy characters and wild characters, and they're fun. And you know that a lot of them are going to die anyway because Jason's in this film and it's a Friday the 13th franchise. So it doesn't matter that you spend some time with these goofy-ass wild characters and laugh a little bit. Another positive for me is going to be, of course, the third act, the setup. It is a wild third act. It's crazy, but we do get Jason back. Kane Hodder comes back, does a little bit of fighting, a little bit of stuff, and we do have the introduction, like I said, of our young Voorhees or a descendant of his, you know what I mean, kind of thing. The dagger used to stab him in the chest, and then he's taken down back to hell, and then the setup. Freddy versus Jason, as we see Freddy's claw, because when this film happened, Jason franchise moved to New Line. Previous films were all done by Paramount. Now we're in the New Line cinema age, and we're able to set up the Freddy versus Jason rivalry, in the fight, because they're under the same banner now. So that's what was really cool. And like I said, this film is out there. It's bonkers, and I can totally understand somebody saying, fuck this movie. Forget this movie. I'm a hardcore Jason fan. Jason's not in it. this isn't a Friday film. I don't even acknowledge this one. I can totally understand that side and view of somebody for real. Like, because like this film is out there, but I'm a hardcore Jason fan. Like, you see all this stuff right here, all this gear. Jason Voorhees is my dude. Friday the 13th is the franchise I return to the most. And even though Jason Takes Manhattan, the film that we talked about before this, I don't like that film. I've seen that film like 25, 30 plus times. This film I've seen almost just as much, and it's like, that's what I'm talking about. These films, they just pull me back in, and this one is such a ride for real. If you're just able to chill with a bunch of friends, have a few drinks, chill, have a nice time, pop on this movie, you're gonna laugh your asses off and have a blast, because there's great kills, funny, crazy characters, and it's just a wild ride. And by the time you get to that third act, you're just so glad. You're like, damn, I'm glad I took this ride. But there are some negatives to this film, and let's get into the negatives. And like I was saying, in the positives, negatives, I like the fact that it is a change. We don't have Jason throughout the whole film, and we got some wild kills. I like the Kane Hodder performance in this film, and I like the design of Jason in this film. And it sucks that we get it for a very limited amount of screen time. So, like I said, it's a positive and a negative. I really appreciate the different story direction that Adam Marcus and them went with, but it sucks that we didn't get Jason Voorhees, that really cool design that I think was really badass, on screen for a lot more time. And another negative is that, yes, this doesn't feel all the way like a Friday the 13th film, and this is the first film in the franchise that I would say doesn't fit continuity-wise. The first 8, you can argue just like you can even argue that this is still the same timeline. It's still same Jason and all that. But I feel like the first 8 have a very stable feel and continuity. And this one does stand out as the, outlier, kind of the black sheep. And that does kind of, make it, it's something different, But it is a wild ride. It's a good time. But it's not the first film I'm going to tell somebody to watch when I'm talking about Friday the 13th films, or it's a new fan, or it's someone I'm bringing into the franchise for the first time. This isn't going to be the first movie we watch. Like, this is going to be the movie you're like, all right, we watched all that. Now prepare for something completely fucking different. Like, that's how this movie is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's some negatives hindering this film. But for me, still in my book, this is going to get a 7.5 out of 10 as a rating. It's still a very solid rating, above average slasher film. You know why? Because it's freaking daring. Adam Marcus did everything that the producers and everybody wanted from him and the bigwigs. They wanted Jason off screen. They wanted something different. They wanted the hockey mask in it less, like all this stuff. And it kind of sucks that we didn't get this really cool, like silver, like shiny, like mask in the film, like actually worn by Jason. But yeah, like I said, it's still a bonkers ride, and I freaking love this movie and adore it. Like I said, this is kind of like a guilty pleasure probably movie. I can probably put it on like a guilty pleasure list, because this has like an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. This isn't a highly revered freaking movie or anything like that. But let me know in the comment section what you think of this film, because this is just my opinions, and I would love to hear from all of you. What do you guys think of Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday? Is this one that you just don't acknowledge? You can't stand this film, or do you have some nostalgia love for it? Or is it in the top? I've never really seen anybody put this in the top of their tier list of Friday the 13th films, but I think this is still an above average horror film for me, and I, like I said, have some guilty pleasure with this movie. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing on the channel. Have a safe and happy day, everyone. Peace out.